In a world where the inexplicable often defies explanation, the realm of twins stands as a testament to the extraordinary. Among the countless tales of identical pairs, a select few emerge, shrouded in the mystique of the inexplicable. These few include the enigmatic tales of Edith and Johana Casas, whose lives seemed irrevocably intertwined from birth to beyond. Separated at birth and raised in vastly different cultures, their paths diverged, yet remained mysteriously connected, defying geographical and cultural barriers. In today's video, we will dive into bone-chilling stories of twins. Stay with me till the very end, and keep your handkerchief very close, because tears are one thing I'm sure will come out of your eyes. Let's get right into it. Nobody will deny that twins are cool, except perhaps a fed-up twin. They're adorable in their little matching outfits, and isn't it funny watching them desperately search for ways to distinguish their own identity from that of their sibling? There are a lot of stories about twins that will amaze you, and we have got an intriguing list as we ask you to sit back and enjoy. Several twin accounts whose uncanny synchronicity transcended the physical realm, leaving experts baffled and skeptics questioning the very fabric of reality. Their shared experiences and intuitive bond surpassed mere coincidence, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of twin phenomena. As we delve deeper into these tales of duality and destiny, one thing becomes abundantly clear. The world of twins is a realm where the extraordinary reigns supreme, where the inexplicable becomes the norm, and where the bonds of kinship transcend the confines of logic and reason. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of the 10 strangest twin stories of all time. Number 10. Edith and Johana Casas. Once upon a time, in the quaint town of Willowbrook, nestled amidst rolling hills and lush forests, lived twin sisters Edith and Johana Casas. From the moment they were born, it was clear that they were destined for remarkable adventures. Edith was the epitome of grace and elegance, with her golden locks cascading down her shoulders like strands of sunlight. Her laughter was like a melody that danced through the air, enchanting all who heard it. Johana, on the other hand, possessed a fiery spirit that burned bright within her. Her ebony curls framed a face that exuded determination and curiosity, always eager to explore the world beyond the boundaries of their small town. Despite their differences, the sisters shared an unbreakable bond forged in the fires of adversity. Their parents had passed away when they were just children, leaving them in the care of their loving grandmother, Abigail. It was Abigail who instilled in them the values of kindness, courage, and resilience that would shape their destinies. As they grew older, Edith and Johana became inseparable companions, embarking on countless escapades together. They would spend hours exploring the hidden nooks and crannies of Willowbrook, uncovering its secrets with the curiosity of intrepid explorers. And so, the tale of Edith and Johana Casas became a legend in Willowbrook, a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit and the bonds that bind us together in times of darkness and light. 22-year-old Edith Casas fell in love and wanted to marry the man of her dreams. Unfortunately, in the eyes of the rest of her family, the man was a nightmare. Edith wanted to wed a man who was serving 13 years in prison for the murder of her twin sister Johana 2 years earlier. Victor, the alleged killer, had also had a sexual relationship with Johana, who was a model. Pretty clear who got dumped in that relationship. Victor was adamant that his relationship with Johana was casual and that he loved Edith. But her parents understandably intervened, and the courts postponed the wedding so that Edith could undergo a mental evaluation to clarify whether or not she was fit to make such a decision. She ended up marrying Victor on February 14, 2013, while he was still incarcerated for the murder of her twin. Number 9. Hassan O. and Abbas O. In the heart of Germany, nestled within the opulent confines of a luxurious jewelry store, a tale unfolded that would perplex authorities and captivate the imagination of the public. Twin brothers, Hassan and Abbas O, found themselves unwittingly embroiled in a heist of staggering proportions. It all began on a crisp autumn afternoon when the glittering allure of a 6.8 million jewelry collection proved irresistible to the siblings. With identical features and matching attire, they blended seamlessly into the store's elegant ambience. But as the minutes ticked by, a daring plan took shape in the recesses of Hassan's mind. Under the guise of browsing, Hassan deftly pocketed a priceless diamond necklace, his actions concealed from prying eyes by the bustling activity of the store. Unbeknown to him, Abbas watched from a discreet distance, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. As they left the store, the brothers exchanged a knowing glance, their silent communication betraying the gravity of their actions. But their sense of triumph was short-lived, for within hours news of the audacious theft spread like wildfire, sending shockwaves through the affluent community. Authorities descended upon the store with relentless determination, interrogating staff and scrutinizing surveillance footage in search of clues. Yet, despite their best efforts, they found themselves ensnared in a web of uncertainty, unable to definitively determine which brother was responsible for the theft. For Hassan and Abbas, the ensuing days were fraught with tension and apprehension as they grappled with the weight of their secret. Each passing moment only served to deepen the rift between them, as suspicion and mistrust clouded their once unbreakable bond. In the end, the authorities were forced to concede defeat, their hands tied by the absence of concrete evidence. The stolen necklace remained an elusive prize, its whereabouts known only to the twins who had orchestrated its disappearance. But as the years passed and the memory of the heist faded into obscurity, Hassan and Abbas found solace in the unspoken understanding that bound them together. For in the end, it was not the allure of wealth or the thrill of deception that defined their legacy, but rather the enduring bond of brotherhood that transcended even the darkest of secrets. Number 8. The Jims. In a peculiar twist of fate, identical twins separated at birth unknowingly followed identical life paths. They married women with the same name, named their sons the same, and died in identical accidents on the same day. Their eerie synchronicity baffled scientists and continues to fascinate to this day. Jim Lewis and Jim Springer were separated at birth when they were put up for adoption in 1940. They met for the first time when they were 39. It turns out that the name Jim was given to each of them independently by their respective adoptive parents, and that's only the beginning of the uncanny parallel. Both men had married twice, first to a woman named Linda and then to a woman named Betty. Both had childhood dogs named Toy. Their sons' names were James Allen and James Allen. Both worked as sheriff's deputies, drank the same beer, smoked the same cigarettes, and drove the same Chevrolet. This story, unsurprisingly, is often used as evidence for telepathy. Growing up, neither Jim knew of the other's existence, yet despite their separate upbringings, they shared striking similarities. Their parallel lives didn't end there. They even vacationed in the same Florida beach town without ever crossing paths. The incredible bond between the twins was highlighted when they were reunited at the age of 39. Researchers, intrigued by their stories, conducted extensive studies on them to understand the influence of genetics versus environment on individual development. Their story became a symbol of the mysteries of human nature and the enduring connection between twins. Despite being raised in different households, they shared personality traits, mannerisms, and even interests. The story of Jim Lewis and Jim Springer continues to captivate and inspire, serving as a reminder of the profound bonds that can exist between siblings, even when separated by circumstance. Their tale challenges our understanding of nature versus nurture and reaffirms the power of genetic connections. Number 7. Richard and Raymond Miller. In 2004, Holly Marie Adams gave birth to a lovely, healthy baby girl. The birth certificate for the child lists Raymond Miller as the father, but he's not content with this. DNA testing has been unable to prove that he, as opposed to his twin Richard, is the real father. This isn't very much like the case of jewel theft, which we've already covered. In that story, only one twin had done the deed, but in this one, Holly had slept with both Richard and Raymond on the same day, without either of the twins knowing that she was sleeping with them both. There's a word for someone like that, but I can't quite think of it right now. Their DNA is more than 99% identical, so there's no way to prove which man is the father and which man is the uncle. A few years ago, a paternity and child support case in Missouri presented a very interesting question regarding the determination of paternity. What happens when both putative fathers named in a paternity action are identical twins? In this Missouri case, twin brothers Raymond and Richard Miller both unknowingly engaged in a sexual relationship with the same woman. Subsequently, the woman both brothers were seeing, Holly Marie Adams, became pregnant. Although Holly named Raymond as the putative father to determine established child support, Raymond objected and demanded a paternity test. However, in this case, a paternity test proved unhelpful for two reasons. 1. Because Raymond and Richard are twins and share the same DNA, a paternity test revealed both brothers have over a 99.9% probability of being the father of Holly's child. And 2, during the court proceeding, Holly testified that she had sex with both brothers within hours of each other near the date of conception. Although the judge assigned to the case, Judge Fred Copeland, was not able to rely on the result of genetic testing to determine paternity and child support. In this case, Judge Copeland ruled that regardless of the identical DNA test and the overlapping relationships, Raymond would be named the legal father of the child in question. In support of his decision, Judge Copeland noted that a court is not limited to relying solely on the results of a DNA test to determine paternity. Raymond appealed Judge Copeland's decision, arguing that he should not be named the legal father, because the identical DNA results make it impossible to determine which brother is truly the biological father of the child in question. On appeal, the appellate court upheld Judge Copeland's decision, which was based on the testimonial evidence presented at the hearing. Specifically, Judge Copeland relied on the testimony of Holly Adams, who testified that she believed the date of conception could be traced back to a night spent with Raymond. Genetic or DNA testing is a very useful tool used by courts to determine paternity in cases where paternity is contested. But, as shown in this Missouri case, DNA testing cannot always be relied on to resolve paternity disputes. When the results of a DNA test are not reliable or definitive, paternity can still be established. In such a situation, a presiding court must simply rely on the tools and methods used to establish paternity before DNA testing was widely available, such as witness testimony and calculations regarding the date of conception. Number 6. Ashley and Andrea. Atlanta. As fraternal twins, Andrea Spinks Springer and Ashley Spinks always knew they shared a special bond. As mothers, they shared another special distinction on Tuesday when both delivered twin baby boys. Neither mother used fertility drugs. Their families just have a history of having twins. The 21-year-olds were 6 months pregnant when they found out they were both going to have twins that would be due on the same day. Their doctor, James Dobson, delivered the sets of twins an hour apart by cesarean section Tuesday morning at Atlanta's Northside Hospital. "It's a blessing," said Springer of Conyers Gay from her bed. "It's hard enough for a lot of people to get pregnant, especially pregnant with twins." Springer gave birth to identical twins, 4-pound, 5-ounce Sean Christopher Springer and 4-pound, 2-ounce Jean Cameron Springer. Both children were under hospital observation Tuesday, but Dobson said all 4 boys and their mothers were expected to be fine. Spinks from Indianapolis gave birth to fraternal twins, 5-pound, 9-ounce Brent Cortez Spinks and 7-pound, 4-ounce Brian Chemar Spinks. Spinks and her fiancé, Bert Means, traveled to Georgia so she could be with her sister during the delivery of the boys. "Both sets of twins are doing well," Dobson said, adding that the moms are expected to be able to return home in about 3 days. "The boys should be able to leave the hospital in 5 days, he added. Dobson, who has been delivering babies since 1981, said he has never seen such a phenomenon. "When it happened, I thought it was the Twilight Zone," or he said. Springer said when she saw her new children, she cried. "They're really cute babies." "It's a blessing," she said, with her husband Nicholas offering support close by. Springer said she hopes the 2 sets of twins will be as close as she and her sister were when they were growing up. She added that all family members are looking forward to celebrating the newborn on her first birthday. "That's going to be a big birthday party," she said, smiling. Number 5. Ryan and Leo. Some things aren't always black and white. Then again, sometimes they are, like the twin sons born July 11th to a German couple. The first baby that was born, Ryan, had light skin and blue eyes. His brother, Leo, is dark-skinned with brown eyes. None of us could believe it, the maternity ward's head doctor, Birgit Weber, told one news source. Both kids have the same father. Stefan Goerth is German and white. His wife, Florence Addo Goerth, is from Ghana and has dark skin. "It was a real surprise," Goerth told the German newspaper Die Welt, adding that the most important thing to him isn't color, but that everyone is healthy. "The odds are 1 in a million, say doctors, but it can happen with fraternal twins due to the genetic soup in our backgrounds." Peter Propping, former director of the Institute for Human Genetics at Bonn University, told Die Welt that the black mother may have had some white ancestors, or that the white father may have had black ones. Very occasionally, the role of the DNA dye may cause the baby of biracial parents to inherit only the genetic coding for one color. Rare though they are, the German twins do have some company. In the past few years, at least 3 mixed-race couples have welcomed twins who were also black and white. Number 4. Diane and Darlene. Diane and Darlene Nettermeyer are twin sisters who took the cute matching twins thing to the extreme. They married identical twins Craig and Mark Sanders, who proposed on the same day with rings of the same style. They wore the same dress at their double wedding. They bought houses next door to one another, and they ended up giving birth on the same day. Identical twin sisters got married to identical twin brothers, and the 2 couples are still very much in love. Darlene and Diane Nettermeyer went to a twins festival in Twinsburg, Ohio, where they met another set of twins. But first, they met one, Mark Sanders, who caught their eye. Sanders called his identical brother, Craig, down from their hotel room to meet the neat blondes, and that is how the whole love story unfolds. Craig and Diane got married, and Mark and Darlene too got married. Today, they live in houses next door to each other in Texas and have 5 children between them. Craig, 44, said that he felt an instant attraction to just one of the blonde twins, Darlene, despite them looking the same. "When I went downstairs, I was instantly attracted to the one on the right. Diane was standing on the right, and Darlene was standing on the left, and I was instantly attracted to Diane," he said. while appearing on the Jeff Probst Show. After meeting in 1998, the boys went to visit the girls at their home in St. Louis, Missouri, and took them on a double date to a baseball game. They hit it off that day, got engaged on the same day, and decided to share a wedding. We had a double wedding, and Darlene and I decided that we wanted to wear the same dress, and then our dad walked us both down the aisle at the same time, Diane said. Diane and Craig went ahead and produced identical twin sons, 12-year-olds Colby and Brady, in 2001, beating 1,000,000 to 1 odds to do so. Craig Sanders said they see themselves as just two normal families who happen to be close to one another. Mark Sanders admitted identical twins marrying identical twins was pretty unusual. There aren't that many of them that we are aware of in the United States. Number 3. A different kind of twin wedding. Twins who were separated at birth and later married each other without realizing they were brother and sister have had their marriage annulled by the High Court's family division. It emerged yesterday. The pair, who were adopted by separate sets of parents, were granted an annulment after a High Court judge ruled their marriage was invalid because of their close blood relationship. The identities of the British brother and sister and details of the relationship and marriage, including how long they were married and how they discovered they were siblings, have been kept secret. The most likely route is through tracking down their birth parents. This is another separated at birth, found each other in later life story, but with a much less happy ending. The twins in this story, who can't be named, were separated at birth and raised by different families. They met each other in later life and felt an inevitable attraction to one another. They started a romantic relationship together, which eventually led to them getting married. Soon after their wedding, it came to light that they were brother and sister, at which point the courts ruled their marriage invalid. Number 2. Identical and fraternal. Hannah Kersey of Northam, England, was born with uterus didelphys, a malformation of the reproductive organs that resulted in her having 2 wombs. While this is known to affect 1 in 3,000 women, the odds of giving birth to 3 healthy girls from 2 separate wombs are 25 million to 1. But in December 2006, Hannah did exactly that. Identical twins, Ruby and Tilly, were delivered from 1 womb, while their fraternal twin sister Grace was delivered from the other. While simultaneous gestation of the 2 wombs in women with uterus didelphys can happen, at least 70 cases have been recorded so far. Kersey's triplet birth was a medical first. Number 1. Twins die together. In 2002, a pair of 73-year-old twins were killed on a road in Finland. There's nothing unusual at all about that at first glance, until you find out that they were killed separately within 2 hours of each other. The first of the twins was hit by a lorry and killed while he was cycling along the road. 2 hours later, his brother died in the same way. To make matters even more odd, police had not yet informed the second twin of his brother's death, which means that he wasn't merely trying to follow him to the grave. And that wraps up our journey through the fascinating world of twin tales. From separated siblings discovering each other by chance to the bizarre case of the Jim twins sharing uncanny similarities, these stories have captured our imaginations and challenged our understanding of the bond between twins. Whether it's the mysterious connection between twins separated at birth or the extraordinary coincidences that seem to defy logic, these stories remind us of the remarkable and sometimes inexplicable intricacies of human life. As we bid farewell to these 10 strange twin stories, we're left with a sense of wonder and curiosity, pondering the mysteries that continue to surround the phenomenon of twins. Who knows what other astonishing twin tales await discovery in the future? Stay curious, and until next time, keep exploring the extraordinary with our channel. See you in the next video.